Joe Missoula postgame talking about why Jaylen Brown was benched in the first half last night in Brooklyn. I say benched because apparently he was benched. I didn't watch the first half. I'm not watching Celtics Nets unless it's close.
No one else is either, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not watching NBA blowouts. So when they play a team like that, I got to see the nature of the game before I check in. So I started to check in the second half. It was it tied at half? It was close.
62-61 at halftime.
Yeah,
Celtics barely had a lead. They play like garbage in the first half.
Okay. So I started to check in the second half because it was a competitive ballgame. And I remember in the third quarter, Jaylen Brown started going off, and I remember Scal or Carter there saying something along the lines of, well, he only played 10 minutes. I wonder if Brown's going to come out here from his regular rotation. He only played 10 minutes in the first half, which is kind of odd. And then did they continue the conversation or not? I can't remember. I was in and out. I was just checking in.
Probably not because they got tased for an anti-Celtics take.
So that's the closest I heard. And again, I didn't see the full game. I didn't listen to the full game. I didn't watch our post-game show, so I don't know if this was covered. I'm not blaming anyone for not covering it. But as far as I'm concerned, I did not know he was benched last night. And I was kind of around the game, just around it, in the periphery of it. But apparently he only played 10 minutes in the first half. He didn't play well. And I know he was benched because, well, Jaylen Brown said this after the game.
No, I was just playing like in the first half, honestly, turning the ball over, et cetera. So I just, took a minute for me to figure it out, but I kind of picked it up to close the game. But got to come out to a better start in the first half, especially in the first quarter, because the team kind of feeds off me. I know that, so I got to be better. And Joe's just holding me to a higher standard.
Jaylen Brown told me he was benched.
Yeah, he did. He admitted it.
So you know what? Good for Joe Missoula. All right.
Absolutely.
We'll take it.
Yeah, and I actually...
It's doing some coaching.
Yeah, I actually did watch a chunk of the first half. There was nothing else on last night, so I had the Celtics on early.
12 turnovers.
Yeah, in the first half. And Brown had 3 of them, I think, in the second quarter.
He
maybe
had
3.5.
8 for the game.
He made a turnover in the second quarter that took me back to the NBA Finals against Golden State. He tried to dribble through 3 guys. They took the ball away. And at that point, I almost threw something at my TV. Because they were horrible with the basketball in the first half, as bad as I've seen in a long, long time. And I didn't put it together. I wasn't keeping track of the minutes. And so when they said what they said in the third quarter about how he only played 10 minutes, I said, oh. And Brown owned up to it after the game. So Missoula did. He sat his ass down. You're going to have your head up your ass for the first half? Sit down.
In a league that always defers to stars, good for him. I mean, it's not often we'll say good for Joe Missoula, but that was the right thing.
He would never do that to Jason Tatum. Never.
How do you feel about that, Stu?
I don't like it. And by the way, I don't like the coverage of this. Paragraph 11 of the Globe, Jaylen Brown only played 10 minutes. This should be the lead headline for Celtics coverage. And due respect to Vinny, who's running B-roll right now on TV, it's only Jaylen Brown highlights. We're like, where are the turnovers? There are 8 of them. Like, can we get some fair and balanced coverage? Jaylen Brown was benched last night. Missoula talked about it. Jaylen Brown talked about it. Why are we getting no coverage and no analysis on it other than me?
Because nothing bad exists in Celtics land.
In Celtics land, no one wants to get on.
But hey, they're 8-7 now. They came back from 6-7. Now they're 8-7. Yippee!
I don't like. I was on TV last night following the. I wish I would have known. Like that would have been the conversation. Benching Jaylen Brown. No, listen. I don't think it's like he obviously wasn't pissed off about it.
Well, so I was just going to say, as much as it's good for Missoula, good for Brown for not putting up a stink about it. He acted like an adult. I had my head up my ass. He called me on it, and I played better in the second half. He could have been a total 2-year-old about it like most people are. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
No, but I'll give Joe Missoula credit for that. They played like crap. Played down to the level of one of the worst teams in the league. But my main Celtics takeaway, Mazz, is that this is why I have the over. They're 8-7. Okay, so they are on pace. If you looked at their winning percentage over 82 games, they would hit the over.
Yeah.
And they even haven't been very good.
No.
I mean, they really haven't. They've, lost 2 or 3 games they really should have won. Most of their guys are not playing to their level. Most guys aren't, I would say. I think that triumvirate of Pritchard, Hauser, and Derek White have been below expectations.
I would agree.
I think Brown has been what we expected, but nothing more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is Queta giving you a little bit more than you would have thought?
Definitely.
Okay, so I'll give you that. But name someone who else. I mean, Simons is as advertised. He's a complete disaster defensively.
Yeah, I would say that's right.
And at times, but I don't think the coach knows how to use him.
When he gets heated up, he's a bucket. But other than that, it's not like. So I think outside of Queta, they've pretty much all underperformed, or at least not given you anything more than you would have expected. They haven't played very well as a team. Missoula's still figuring out his rotations. They've pissed away 2 or 3 games they easily should have won. And they're on pace for the over. They're on pace to be a mid-Eastern Conference playoff team.
They're 8-7.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly why I take the over. It's exactly why you out there should accept nothing less than a mid-pack Eastern Conference playoff team. They've kind of sucked, and they're on pace for the over. They're on pace for the play-in at worst. That should be the baseline expectation. If they just played a little bit better, they'd be more than that.
And look, maybe that is starting to dawn on them, I hope, because if they can be, let's just say they can be 4 or 5 games over 500 by the time you get to March. You get Tatum back?
Tatum's back.
Take a shot.
Yeah.
See what happens. And I should even back that up a little and say, if you know you're going to get Tatum back, you can make a little pickup at the deadline and, sign some a buyout candidate or what have you and add to your roster, and you can make a little noise in the East. See what happens. So hopefully they've awakened to that reality. I mean, they woke up in the second half last night. The third quarter was good.
It also tells you, there's fans out there who want to tank. So Brooklyn, that team, you get a load of that roster.
Oh my gosh, horrible.
What are they, 2-11?
2-12 now.
2-12.
2-12.
And you're in a 2-point game with them.
Well, but that's not my point here. My point is, if you want to tank, if you really want to tank, that Brooklyn team is 2-12, and they're not the worst team in the league. They're not the worst team in the conference. In fact,
Washington
and Indiana.
There's 2 teams worse than you in the conference. 2 teams worse than that in the conference. 3 teams worse than that in the league.
I think Indiana's like 1-13.
Indiana 1-13. Washington 1-12. Pelicans 2-12. Brooklyn 2-12. So, do you know how much work you would have to do in terms of sucking and losing and shutting players down just to get to Brooklyn? And you're still not the worst. It's impossible. You can't do it. It's not in the cards. You're going to have to just accept the 20th pick in the draft or something like that, the 17th pick in the draft, and being I think a 1-6 playoff seed in the Eastern Conference. You should be out of the play-in. You should be, a borderline play-in team, that 6-7 seed without Tatum. When Tatum comes back, you should be out of the play-in by the time the season is over. That's what you should be. Anything less than that is a fail. Your players have underperformed. Your coaches underperformed. If you're anything less than that, in my opinion. And I just think the early going proves it. They've sucked. And you've got a winning record. What does that tell you about the East?
Yeah, I'm sort of in agreement with they shouldn't be in the play-in. They should be in. Period. End of story.
Especially if Tatum comes back when we think he does.
I mean, I'm assuming he'll be there. If he's not, it can change. And then you want to tell him. But I'll tell you what, even if they get in the play-in, they should win it.
Yeah. Listen, the last couple of years out west, teams like the Lakers and the Warriors, those have been play-in teams. And did the Warriors go well, they went deep coming out of the play-in, didn't they? Didn't the Lakers too? Did the Lakers go to the conference final from out of the play-in? Whatever. The point is, even as a play-in team, you're fine. You're facing some bum, that you just get past, and now you're in the playoffs. So don't let the Celtics off the hook.